Alright, what's up guys? This is NinjaDeathStrike bringing you another Pokemon TCGO battle using the Eel deck again. This one is much better than the one against the Slither deck though, a lot closer. Playing an opponent who has a pretty interesting deck going on, using what I dubbed the worst EX of the bunch, Regigigas. Basically they're using a CMT without the M and with an R instead, so CRT. Regigigas, Tornadus, and Celebi, using the Celebi to charge up their big fat Regigigas faster, and no, I guess it'd be a decent deck. It's just Mewtwo's way better, but my opponent was running pretty hot this match, so it made for a pretty good match. I have to start a Lone Dynamo, which is always scary, but I win the flip, and let me see, once again, I have a Collector in my hand on turn 1, so that's going to make my deck a lot better right off the bat. It's going to let me get what I need, but I make an idiot play. I click 2, and then I click Thunderous, and then for some reason I decide I want another Dynamo, and what ends up happening is that I only select 2 things. I think I end up getting a Dynamo and a Smeargle, and I just I click off the Dynamo and then I forget to click on the Thunderous, and so I only grab 2 things like an idiot. Definitely one of those mistakes that you can only do online. You know, obviously you'd notice you only had 2 cards if you were playing in real life, but luckily it doesn't actually hurt me too much here because I have that dual ball as well. So it's going to let me grab the Thunderous that I meant to get the first time. It would have been nice to have 3 Eels and a Thunderous, but it's really not that big of a deal. So I went ahead and got Smeargle because I am not going to be able to charge this turn. So I figured it would be better to go ahead and use Portrait and try to accelerate my setup a little bit, but my opponent doesn't have a supporter, so that kind of sucks. It does mean, though, that Regigigas is pretty much trapped there because he doesn't have a way to get out of it. He's got a catcher, but that's about the worst thing he can do to me. So here he attaches the Eviolite, and then I think he catches out my Eel again. One of the downsides of playing the Eel that actually has a retreat cost, if you don't have Sky Arrow up, it is catcher bait. And then he plays an Oak, so he must have top decked that, which is really nice for him because it meant that I didn't get to use Portrait, and he did get to use a supporter, and he gets into a DCE, so definitely going to be an attack coming next turn, and I need to be ready for that. So I decide here I'm just going to retreat, go into Smeargle again, because I need to get some Eels going, so I'm going to play my N first. I probably could have gone for Portrait first, just in case he only had a Juniper. It wouldn't have been a real big deal to get rid of the rest of that hand. It was a little riskier doing it this way, but yeah, small oversight that luckily didn't hurt me too badly. So I get double heads on the dual ball, which is great. You notice that I'm playing a Collector dual ball mix. I like to have a little bit of each in here, and I get one, get another double heads, which is really great. So go ahead and set up my other Thunderous. I didn't want to get Mewtwo yet because I didn't know if he was playing Mewtwo or not, and so it was a little too early to drop him. I figured I'd just get going with the Thunderouses instead, and then I hit an Oak off of Portrait, so I get to shuffle my hand again and get a terrible hand. Oh my god. 3 Junipers? Really? Awesome. So yeah, that's not good. At least I get a level ball, so I can get an Eel going here and go ahead and attach to Thunderous, but that's really all I can do now because I didn't get any energy, which sucks. Yep, so I just have to pass. Again, I'm running a little bit more slowly than I would like to. It's going to be turn 3, and I'm not even ready to attack yet. Going to need 2 energies. I need 1 in the discard and 1 on Thunderous to be able to hit next turn. So he has another DCE, so this Regigigas is fully charged up now, and he gets a double heads of his own on his dual ball, so now we got another Celebi and another Regigigas coming down. And so at this point it started to become pretty clear that He plays mostly Regigigas. It's definitely still possible he could have a Mewtwo, so I need to be careful, but looks like it's going to be a Regigigas fight. And so he's got a plus power there. That's going to let him hit for 70 with his attack, and that's just going to be enough to take Smeargle out without needing to damage himself, which is nice for him. I get an energy here, so that's good. I forgot I did have one in the discard pile from retreating earlier, so I will get 3 energies up. And now I'm going to be looking for an eel, and a catcher would be nice. A catcher would let me take prizes. I do not want to mess with this Regigigas at all. It's fully charged with an Eviolite. It's going to be a huge pain in the butt. But he's got that naked one there on the bench, and then he's also got 2 Celebes. So what I'm going to do here is actually Junk Arm, toss 2 of my energies into the discard pile in order to get a catcher, and catcher out a Celebi to be able to take a prize. Now, off of that Oak, I did not hit a supporter. Of course, I end last turn, hit 4 in a row, and now I don't hit any, so that's awesome. That makes my hand very, very bad. Luckily, I've got 2 Eels and another Thundurus, so I can float for a turn or 2 if I need to, but if I don't hit a supporter soon, I'm going to be in big trouble, especially looking at his hand size. He's got a lot of cards. Chances are he's got quite a few options going on in there, and I need to get back in the game pretty quickly. So I get the Skyro Bridge off of my prize. That is definitely not going to help me too much. In fact, I don't want to play it right now because his deck needs it more than mine does at this point. It would have been nice to have earlier when my Eels were stuck active because of catcher, but for right now, it's just better to hold on to it because he's going to need it in order to retreat his Celebi. So he goes for another dual ball, gets a double tails. He had the switch though, so he knew he was safe no matter what, and that allowed him to attach 2 energy to his Gigas on the bench. So now he's got 4 on this one and 2 on the other one, and then thank God he plays N. That helped me out so much. Really got me into a Juniper, so I have a live hand now. I will have options next turn. And unfortunately, he's also going to get a pretty good hand. He gets all the stuff he needs to be able to catcher in an Eel and take me out with whatever Regigigas' attack is. He does hit the extra damage, so he's going to damage himself for 30. Should have only been 10 because of the Elviolite, but you know, still broken. I had to concede 3 or 4 games in a row before this because people were just abusing it. So that's cool. Anyhow, he takes out one of my Eels. That's not good. He's going to slow me down a bit. I do have some catchers, so I'll be able to take a prize on the second Celebi, which is what I'm going to plan to do. Just knock out his energy support and take cheap prizes while I can, just so that I don't have to deal with this Regigigas. Like, you know, it is really good if you have to attack into it. So the reason, you know, I said it was the worst when I was going through the EXs is because there's almost always a way to play around it. And that is exactly what I'm doing here. That thing is a monster, so my solution is just don't touch it. Here, I'm going to decide to discard one of my Mewtwo's. I didn't really want to get rid of it, but I needed to get a new hand. I needed to keep up some momentum. So this hand, it's okay. Didn't get any lightning energy, but I got some DCEs. Can use those if I need to. Really little like the lightning energy though, to keep up with my attachments. Make sure I don't fall too far. Excuse me, don't fall too far behind. But it's okay. I can manage. I've got Sky Arrow if I need it. I've got that collector. Means I can get other stuff out if I want, mainly Mewtwo. And now Gigas comes back in, and looking at, he's got 30 damage on him, so he chooses to hit for 80 here, which means that he just went for his second attack. He didn't do the one where he hurts himself, which obviously is the best move. So I was a little confused. I actually pulled the card up trying to figure out how he did 80 without hurting himself, but it was from the second attack, and that's fine. So I do top deck that lightning energy, which means I'll be able to attach and then dynamotor as well, so that's nice. And I'm going to think about what I want to do here. I have that catcher, so I'm only going to be able to do 60 damage to this Regigigas that is out, but I can do 80 to the other one. And I decide I want to hit the other one. It doesn't have an Eviolite. If I can take this one out, the other one already has damage on it, so it'll actually be easier for me to clean up the other one with a Mewtwo when the time comes. So I figure I'll take this one out first, and then if I kill this one with my Thunderuses or with anything but Mewtwo, when the other one comes in, it's going to be easier to revenge kill. So that was my thought process. I probably could have just attacked into the other one as well, but I decided to go this route. It's also possible, since he had a small hand size, that he wouldn't have a fourth energy to be able to get this one up and attacking. And that would have been really good. It still would have meant that my Thundurus died, but I could have revenged it with something else. Mewtwo or that second Thundurus, assuming I could get a hold of a plus power. I'd need a double plus power, so probably not. I get a Zekrom here, and that you can see that 30 HP Tynamo is really coming in handy here since it's a free retreater. Although I guess I have Skyro up, so never mind that. But I'm going to use the collector now to grab both of my Mewtwo's. I feel like this is the time to start attacking with them. And put the first one down, put a DCE on him. Thanks to the Disaster Bolt damage, I will have enough energy on this Mewtwo to take out the Regigigas that's active. And I think had I attacked into the one with a Violite, I'm not sure, I wouldn't have been able to get enough energy to kill it this turn, so it would have gotten to attack me before I could take it out, and that would mean that the second one could then come in and revenge kill me. So that was another reason I decided to catcher out the non-Eviolated one first. And thankfully this guy either didn't have a second Eviolite or just actually didn't cheat, which is nice for a change. So here he plays a plus power that's going to put him at 90 damage. He drops a bunch of Thunderuses and then Junipers. So he's probably feeling okay because of the Eviolite, and he only has 30 damage, so I'm going to have to do 150 to him, I believe, to take him out. And that's not looking all that likely. So he's going to think for a while about what he wants to do here, but he ends up just hitting me for 90. And that's pretty good. I was a little bit worried here. Actually, I go for a level ball, but I don't have my other eel. It must be prized, and I just hadn't noticed. So I put the DCE onto him, and then I think, wow, why did I don't know why I did that. Maybe looking for a plus power, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. But he just concedes. I'm not actually sure. I was a little surprised that he quit right there. Maybe I had enough energy to take him down. I had 5 and he had 4. So that's 180 minus 20. Yeah, that's 160. All right, so could have taken him down. So he just goes ahead and concedes. I actually hadn't even realized that that's all the energy I needed. I thought I needed a plus power to take him out. So that's why I Junipered. And anyhow, the match is over, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, leave me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about Regigigas. I've made my thoughts on it pretty clear, but if you think it's good, tell me why, and I will have more coming your way shortly. Thanks, guys.